Hey guys, welcome to Staying Salty. My name's Miranda if you haven't been here before, and this week we're going to be giving advice to new parents of babies or kids with CF. I decided to come and film out in the park today, and now my eyes won't stop crying, so just like ignore whatever's happening over here.
I got cystic fibrosis. See, I've got cystic fibrosis.
So whenever I was trying to put together how I'm going to do this video, I thought, I'll ask my mom. She's an experienced mom of a kid with CF and other complications, and, she's the perfect person to ask. And, God, this eyeball. And all she said was the one thing she wishes she wouldn't have done, or advice she would tell people, is to not go to the library. Because when I was diagnosed, it was way before, Google was what it is now. And so she went to the library to do research on CF, and pretty much everything she read said that, I died this really slow, painful death at, the age of 2. And so it kind of terrified her. And she decided early on that they had met a family with a kid that had CF, a couple of families, but one that was an older child. And she had the parents' names and numbers if she needed anything, any questions, but she decided, my story was going to be my own story, and she wasn't going to let other people's stories interfere with my own. I think that really is good advice. You have thousands of CFers that put their lives on the internet. But that doesn't mean that what their history is going to dictate what your child's history will be. All of our lives, all of the things that we've done and we've gone through are not what your kid is going to go through. We're paving the way for the amazing future your kid is going to have. We've done the experiments and we've been the guinea pigs. And with what the foundation is doing now and what researchers are doing now, there's so much hope for your child. Just a couple of weeks ago, the foundation announced that the new median age for babies born today is 47. When I was born, doctors said I wouldn't live to be 10. So, just in those 23 years of time, just what has happened in the CF community is so extraordinary, and in your child's life it's going to become even more extraordinary. I have so much hope in my heart that in your child's lifetime there will be a cure for CF. But in the meantime, there are things you might want advice for, and that's what we're here for. Communication, I think, is a huge thing. You need to make sure you're communicating with your children's doctors, with your partner, and most importantly with your child. You have to make sure you find the best hospital team for your doctor. Trust your gut. I can't tell you how many times my mom trusted her gut and got me out of really awful situations with doctors when I was a baby, before I was able to speak up for myself. And once I was able to speak up for myself, she did listen to me. Whenever I was scared of something or I didn't feel like I could handle something, she understood and she listened to me, and she made sure that my voice was heard by my doctors. Things happening to your child are terrifying. They're going to need someone to understand what the doctors are saying, and are going to be able to explain it to them the best way that you can and that they can understand. Make sure that your partner is on the same page, and if they're not on the same page, make sure that you get on the same page as to what's best for your child. And what's best for your child mentally might not always be what's best for your child physically, and you're going to have to figure out the balance between that, talking with the 4 of you or the 5 of you or however many people are involved in your child's care, whether it be grandparents or a father or a mother or a aunt or whoever is in your child's care. Make sure everyone is on the same team and everyone can come together as a voice for your child. With me, the best thing was to never sugarcoat anything, but with every child that might not be the case. So you're going to be able to tell, you know your child, you're going to be able to tell how they need to be spoken to about these things, but you do have to realize that a lot of these things are incredibly important and crucial for them to know. Treatments with CF kids can be really complicated because during our lifetimes, I honest to God don't know any CFer that hasn't rebelled at one point or another. And the people that rebel, some of them Whether their parents were completely hands-on, whether they were half hands-on, they did everything themselves, they made their child do everything, they tried to work together, at some point or another your kid is going to rebel. You just have to try to make sure that you listen to them as to why are they rebelling. You know, listen to their concerns, but don't exactly let them get away with it because it's going to really affect them later on in life if they don't get a handle on things quickly. Try to instill in them the importance of all of the things that they need to do. Try living by example by doing everything you're supposed to do to take care of yourself. Don't forget yourself in the midst of all of the chaos that is raising a child with CF. Make sure they know how to take care of themselves in all of the ways that they need to, because when they get older, you're not always going to be able to be there to do it for them. They're going to need to have the knowledge and the willpower to get themselves to do it when you're not able to hold their hand through it. For every kid, that's different. And that's why communicating with your child is the most important thing. I think it is really important to have friends in the CF community, whether it be an adult CF patient, a child CF patient, parents of CF patients, just someone to... You need to have someone to talk to that's in this community, because you're going to have questions. And Google's not always the best answer, just like the library wasn't the best answer. You might be someone that does want to know other people's stories just to try to know what could happen if certain things don't happen, or what could happen if certain things do. You might need help on how to talk to doctors, what questions to ask, what things to look out for, which medications do they think help more than others. Try and get to know the people at your local CF chapter. So if there comes issues with insurances or clinics, they're able to kind of help point you in the right direction through social workers at your hospital or through their own social workers. The foundation has a CF Compass now that works really great with. I'm going to put a link to the CF Foundation in the description, and there you'll be able to find your local CF chapter, the CF Compass. You'll get to read blog posts from other CFers. You'll get to see what new drugs are being tested right now and what's gone through. You'll really just be able to get to know what's up to date. It really is right now just a giant beacon of hope for all of us. It's a scary life, and it can be a really overwhelming life. Just don't lose hope. Don't lose hope in your child. Don't lose hope in yourself, in your child's doctors, in your child's future. At the end of the day, you have to remember that your child is still your child, whether they're sick or not. You know, they're innocent and crazy and fun and amazing and deserve everything the world has to offer. They can still go and play with their friends and go to school and do 500 sports, and just, they can do anything they set their mind to. And because of the CF, they're going to be even more determined than a normal child. Trust me. Be sure to encourage them and don't crush their dreams. If it's something that they're not physically able to do, try to figure out a way that they're able to. Find compromises. Don't tell them that they're not able to do something because they're sick. Try 500 different ways so that they know that you did everything you could and they did everything they could. But don't pity them because things might be a little bit harder, because it doesn't feel good to be pitied. Don't make them feel bad because they're sick. Don't think any less of them. Never tell them that you treat them differently because they're sick. Never treat them differently because they're sick, other than telling them about their sickness and making sure that their sickness is taken care of. They shouldn't be treated any differently than any other child. If they do something bad, make sure they know they did something bad. Don't let it slide because they're the sick kid. Don't just instill them with the best morals you can, not because they're a sick kid, but because they're a child, and that's what any parent should do. And at the end of the day, you need to know that your child is a warrior, and your child is stronger than you will ever be able to imagine, and they're going to endure things you will never be able to understand, and you're going to fight, and you're going to get lashed out at, because there are days that CF kids can't do anything but feel bad, and they don't know how to handle it, and sometimes they're going to take it out on you. As much as it sucks, you're just going to have to let them rant it out, because they have no other way of getting it out. You're their voice, you're their ear, you're who they need to talk to about all of these things, but you still need to make sure that you're respected. The best advice I can give is just to make sure that you're educated, stay on top of all of your child's needs, make sure that you have a great relationship with their doctors, with all of the people surrounding their care in hospitals and at home. Make sure that you're your child's ear and your child's voice. Make sure they do their treatments and take their pills, and make sure that they understand the importance of doing so, and make sure that not only do they do them, but make sure they know how to do them and how it works. Make sure your child is as educated as you, if not more, so that whenever they are older, they're able to take care of themselves the best that they can. And make sure that as much as you need to be their voice when they're younger, make sure that they know how to use their own voice. So whenever they're ready and able to speak up, they're able to. Encourage them to speak up for themselves, and encourage them to take care of themselves, and encourage them to be the best person that they can possibly be. Encourage them to do everything that their heart wants, and make sure that they know that they're loved. So if any of you guys out there have any other advice for new parents of CF kids, leave them in the comments down below. Like this video and share it if you found it useful. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel if you aren't already, and hit the notification bell so you can be notified every time we put up a video. I am going to leave my personal accounts as well as the channels in the description down below, as well as the link to the CF Foundation, and I will see you guys next time.